Now we're cooking. It's the coach. You're watching Madden Football on EA.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Caught on the right side by Jones. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jones. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and learning all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
They'll run it here with Blunt. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Stafford now to throw. Screen pass to Blunt. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough. And it'll be fourth down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now out comes Minnesota. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
On second down, Cook. And some room to run now. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
This is the first carry for Rob Kelly. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Hardy. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins, and he's able to find Diggs. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
First down, here's the run with Cook. They find some open field here. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A good run on first down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Thomas rolls his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now running right through it.
But when the highlight is shown of this play, all attention is going to be on the person running with the football. But how about the group as a whole? Setting up that big-time return, yardage that we won't even account for in the box score, may help them win the game.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Daniil Hunter. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable. And really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he's brought down after a good gain. That burst good for 20 and a first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
They'll run with Kelly. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Two minutes to play here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. 23 yards on the play. First down now, but the clock continues to move. From the 50 at Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And here comes throw number one for the backup QB. And that's going to be incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Operating from the gun, Yates. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding out.
And now look at him go. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules. And if you do, you're taking on some responsibility. But he was happy to do so there.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And he'll take it out to the 25. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Here we go now. Green 39.
On third down, Yates. Catch made right side by Wilson. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Sam Martin now. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. Here's Sherrills. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. An update from Buffalo, and it's the Bears who are off to the early lead. Mitch Trubisky with 1 touchdown pass thus far. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Wow,
the
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the pass.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, Yates. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They pitch it out to Cook, and he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They run it again with Cook, and able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Cousins. Throw left side complete. That's Hardy. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter three.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the ladder from there. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now out comes Minnesota. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They run again on first down. Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Cousins from the gun on third. It's hauled in by Hardy. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Buying time to his left. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. First down, this is Rawls. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Down right around the 25. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Daniel Carlson now for the Viking field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
It's caught. Jones. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Looking to throw. Yates. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. He got 29 yards that time.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Out to the right here to Wilson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Operating from the gun. Yates. And finding the tight end Wilson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here's Blunt. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
From the gun on 3rd down. Yates. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. LeGarrette Blount, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. From the gun, Yates. And they're going to get the 2. It's caught. So they get the conversion, and now we're back to a one-score game. And that almost makes it a brand-new ball game. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the two.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the two-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their two-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
Here comes Sherrills. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, it's Cook. And some room to maneuver. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. They'll pitch it to Kelly. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Right back to him on first down. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
We're going, let's go.
Now Kelly on the toss. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that. That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now Cousins on fourth down. And Wilson has it. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. This to make it a 2-score game. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Minnesota,